You're so disgusting.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Yoshii from the Reptiles With Podcast, and we are live at REPTICON. Well, not really live because this is pre-recorded, but we're here. We're killing it. I wanted to give a huge shout-out to REPTICON, Premium Crickets, and Reptiles Express for having us, but let's get started. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man.
You want to introduce yourself to everybody?
My name is Alex Concepcion. I was formerly o.t.w.exotics, but now I'm with Imperial Reptiles.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I mean, no. Go check out the shop, and go to www.imperialreptiles.com for all your needs.
There you go. So what's your situation, Imperial? You just moved up to Central Florida. You know, we're getting rocking and rolling. You're in charge of wholesale. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So talk about the stuff that we're trying to do for wholesale. The stuff that we can say.
Well, we're trying to provide our wholesale customers with the best quality out of the whole, I guess, wholesale side of the industry. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I would say that.
What do you think our goal is?
Okay, so we know a lot of the wholesale facilities.
Yeah.
Not to talk too much shit or anything like that, but you know, animals come in, animals leave. You know, but at Imperial, I know that
Fast pace.
Yeah, I know that we've implemented a lot of procedures to avoid parasites, avoid cross-contamination with certain things. So we have a pretty clean operation that we've remained clean.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now we're going to offer that same kind of experience to other breeders, other shops, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in doing wholesale, hit up Alex. He'll get you signed up and everything, dude.
And go to the website and sign up for our wholesale. The instructions are all there once you click the tab.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And yeah, sign up.
Hell yeah. Now, I know that you haven't been able to walk around the show too much, but is there anything specific you've seen that you're like, yo, that's cool?
No, I literally walked to Eddie's table and that was pretty much it.
Yeah? I know that you brought some fire leopard geckos, dude.
Yes.
Are you going to pick up anything, or are you just here hanging out?
I'm just here hanging out.
Hell yeah,
with the
dude.
Imperial squad and
Hell
Eddie of Serpentary Exotics. Shout out Eddie.
Yeah, dude, that's the man, the myth, the legend.
And shout out Modern Reptileshop.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I used to hear stories about Eddie. He was like a legend. Like, it was like if he
who?
didn't really exist. Eddie. Yeah, everybody's like, yeah, Eddie Soto.
Were they from me?
A little bit from you, just from random people. And now I know the guy, and I'm like, yo, like, I know the legend, dude.
Now he's got to come by and you can talk to the legend.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Finally.
There you go.
And then he's going to come by to the shop to do a full podcast.
Yes, 100%. I know that. I mean, with the times that we've been able to sit down and talk, he's already told me like a bunch of stories. So I'm like, this is awesome. Like, he'll be telling me things that I'm like, I wish Tino and Chuck were here right now. They'd love to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you going to interview today?
So it's a little bit back and forth. I still have to. I didn't want to do it like the way that we did Daytona. Daytona was very scheduled. I want to test this out because we're doing a little bit of a partnership with Premium Crickets and REPTICON and Reptiles Express. And I want to do it a little more organic and try to get these breeders and vendors to see if they're willing to come when they're already busy. That way I know if this whole thing at REPTICON is a reality. And so far, I mean, it's great. We're doing the thing, you know, so.
I don't know, man.
There's people.
There's a lot of people here.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think you got to step out of your comfort zone, man.
Dude, I went all over the place already.
Oh, really?
I got rejected by one person. I'm not going to tell you who it is. But they didn't reject me like hard. They were more like, oh, it's so busy. You know, but that's the kind of response that I wanted to see who's willing to do the thing.
Yeah. For sure. It's not that busy.
All right, bro. Tag yourself so we get the fuck out of here.
o.t.w.exotics, and I will be working for Imperial as a wholesale manager, so make sure to check out the site and sign up for wholesale.
All righty, and on we go. I think David was telling me that you just did one with Snakes and the Fat Man.
No. So
okay.
I am really good friends with Sean Bradley.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I sponsor Sean. I've known Sean for like 10 plus years.
Okay.
So I met him like right after his accident.
Okay.
Before everybody started to hate him.
Understood.
So I've known Sean pretty much forever. So.
Yeah. I used to frequent his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't been doing this for very long. I think we started in like 2015, and I only did turtles and tortoises.
I got you.
Then I got into the ball pythons, and then from there you do the whole deep dive. You do your bar check stuff when when I'm trying to learn mutations, and then I ended up on Sean's podcast.
Yeah.
I was really bummed that he didn't that he had stopped it for a while.
Yeah. He was he unfortunately went through a really, really rough patch.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough that I know him, so
Yeah.
I was able to help him through a lot of that.
Cool.
So I'm glad he's back. He's
for
in
sure.
a much better frame of mind.
Awesome.
I don't know if you've seen the new podcast.
I haven't.
They are fantastic.
Yeah?
He had Mark Mandick on there for a little bit. He just did one with another vet. It's a lot of like old school guys right now.
Okay.
And he did Aussie Voids was Friday.
Okay.
That was really cool. He's trying to bring in more people.
Yeah, and I think that's real cool since he's been doing it for a while, that he has access to such people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So as far as you go, what do you work with? What are you doing?
So I mostly have ball pythons. My husband
Fun.
and I do everything together. But social media wise, decision wise, it's generally me.
Got you.
And then we also have boas, just a small group. I mostly work VPI.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And as far as ball pythons, what kind of projects?
Mostly recessives, pretty much all recessives.
Yeah.
I work TSK line as Xanthic. So
Tight.
That's
the way to go.
Yeah, that's the main
Yeah.
thing for me. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's really big into ultramel and lavender. So pretty much everything that we have touches is Xanthic, and then we're pretty much working on triples. Like we should have snow clowns in a couple of years. Should have snow pieds in a couple of years.
So I have a I have a lavender possible head TSK up there.
Okay.
I don't even know how she's still there. She's like an adult female, and she's just there sitting. And I'm like,
Really?
yeah. I'm like, why? Because
I haven't seen her.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
have to look at her.
I have a couple that I've raised up, and now I'm looking for my male and stuff like that, trying to figure out what angle I'm gonna go with the lavender snow stuff. Just I don't know. I feel like people don't see the possibilities just because they think it's gonna be a white snake.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I mean, I have my own like weird little side project with the Bell Complex.
Okay.
But like special,
Yep.
Russo, Mystic, like that side.
Yeah.
I don't really do a lot with Mojave and Lesser as far as working them together because they are a solid white snake.
Yeah, exactly.
So I try to go more towards like elixirs and visibles, that kinds of things. That way there's still patterns.
Yes.
Because I think eventually there will be other things that you can do with that
100%.
to make it so much better.
Once upon a time, ivory was white snake, yellow head, right?
Right.
And then you start introducing leopard, you start introducing enchi, and then you see pattern. And then the same thing is happening now with the champagne, where it's just like, no, it's just a gold snake, and you're putting it into clown, and you have pattern.
Yep.
And just period super specials are very pretty.
They're so fantastic. And I love orange.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you saw our banner.
Yeah.
Orange. So.
Yeah. I'm into super specials. A gene that I think is like underrated is vanilla. I'm really into
have a
like
lot of
super
vanilla.
vanillas. I don't have a lot of it, unfortunately. I do have Blue-Eyed Lucy projects, but honestly, it's more like that's the stuff that I do for like the pet side to like feed my actual
feed everything
projects.
else, yeah.
Yeah. So TSK.
Yep.
That is my favorite.
Yes.
Also, I think
Yes.
it's a prettier animal. Some
Oh,
people
yeah.
say the same. Some people say no.
No, I when I first saw an Xanthic, the first line that I ever saw was TSK, and I didn't even question the others. Like, so I was like, nope, it's TSK.
Yeah.
Most of our stock comes from TSK themselves. I've also gotten some animals from JD.
Yeah.
And a few of the other guys that are around sporadically, but
Gotcha.
yeah, I definitely prefer that. I mean,
100%.
especially with the dark phase. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
the dark phase popping through there randomly.
Yeah.
Yep, I've gotten lucky and have hit a few of those. So
Cool.
yeah. Did you get your lavender snow stuff from?
I-
How'd you make them?
So those, I'm trying to think of where, because I got the stuff that I got started from David Madballs.
Yeah.
And I don't remember where he got his from. Actually,
It was probably Rich.
no, it was Capital. I think it's Capital Reptiles.
Oh, okay.
Andre?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our stuff originally came from him.
Okay.
Oh, and talking about Xanthic stuff. So, you know, Jessica Kobilka, like, he had that random line of Xanthic.
Yep.
So, I had gotten a leopard pied het for Desert Ghost from, it wasn't Andre, it was a friend that he works. No, it was Andre. Because I know it's Andre and Patrick McKnight. They
Right.
do the
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, I got the stuff from them. I bred that male leopard pied het Desert Ghost to a bumblebee Xanthic, and I popped out Xanthics.
Oh, wow.
So as far as I know, that line that he has roaming around is TSK.
It's TSK.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Very
that's
cool.
exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
then with boas, so VPI
Yep.
is, if I'm not mistaken, VPI is that Central American or
No,
Okay.
so VPI is just the T positive line.
Okay.
There is a Central American that is T positive.
Okay.
So it is a little different though.
Understood.
Those are the smaller.
Cool
species. Yeah.
beans. I've thought about boas, and if I did boas, it would be Central American. I'm Central American, so I'm
Right.
like, that's from my home,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've heard that the females usually don't go every year, so stuff like that kind of like deters me.
Yeah.
I'm like a little
Yeah,
back and forth
boas
with it.
are definitely tricky. You know, I'm actually expecting my first litter right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of hoping she's not dropped while we were gone.
Ugh.
So yeah, that's a little stressful, but I'm hoping that she'll be dropping very soon, and those will be fun.
Cool.
But yeah, the mortality rate on them is the sketchy part. You know,
Gotcha.
again, which is why I'm extra nervous that I'm not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
home. So, but yeah, I do love the boas. I think if I had been more friends with more boa people, I probably would have done more boas and ball pythons.
Got
but-
you. It's the live birthing part of it is like a double-edged sword because it's
Yeah.
fun, but then also you have moments like
Yes.
this. I breed blue tongues,
Okay.
and this year was not the best year because I had just moved to a new city,
Right.
threw some of them back, and the one litter that I had that was promising, I was away for the weekend, so when I got back, all of the babies were dead.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know. I'm really hoping that's not what I'm gonna walk into.
Fingers
'cause,
crossed, bro. I'm sorry that I'm putting that juju
no,
on you.
it's okay. It's fine. My poor dad, who's terrified of snakes, I'm like, just open
Just
the
watch
building.
them. Just watch them. Yeah.
yeah,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
like, just open the building. Just double check. Like, don't open the bin, but you can
Hell yeah.
just check the building.
Cool beats. Well,
So-
tag yourselves and we'll get it going. You're good.
Savage constrictors. We also have a rodent feed that is AgSolve and organic gut solution.
This thing.
Nobody knows who I am.
All right. What do you mean? Okay, I'm gonna touch that real quick. Nobody knows who I am.
Are
All right?
we on?
We're on right now,
Oh.
dude. Okay.
Do I
so
look at this thing?
You can if you want. You can
Hi.
look at me. You can look at Eric if you want. Eric's over there
Alright.
hanging out. So
You're a good-looking dude.
this whole thing, nobody knows me. Before I met you in person, would hear about you all the time. I want you to know that.
Okay.
Only good stories. Like, oh yeah, Eddie's this, Eddie does that.
In the
Eddie
reptile
whatever.
world, I'm a good guy.
There you
They
go.
don't really know me.
There
oh,
you
yeah.
go.
Oops.
Yeah, there you go. You're good. You're good. But hey, man, I know you now, dude. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm here. I'm tired.
Yeah. You didn't bring any frogs. The fuck? Eric
Oh.
loves frogs.
Oh, next time we're gonna bring a bunch of frogs for you.
Oh, beautiful.
Nasty, wet frogs.
So of everything, so what are you working with? I know you got your bearded dragons, you got some lacerdas, you got the things that I hate, them frogs.
Okay, so man, I breed. So outside of Repticon, I breed mostly the rarer stuff. So the Australian water dragons, a bunch of lacerdas.
Yep.
A bunch of micro geckos. For the reptile shows, that's where the bearded dragons, the leopard geckos,
Yeah.
the common stuff. Because one thing I learned very quickly when I started doing these shows was no one cares if I bring a table full of like conehead lizards and
Yeah.
Australian water dragons. They don't know what that is.
Fair.
I'd make no money.
Yeah.
So that's where the common stuff comes in. And, you know, over time, those people who get the common stuff, then they learn about the rare
nice
stuff.
You know, and I think that is something very important, you know, because this is the thing. Whenever somebody's trying to get into the reptile industry, they're like, I'm only going to do the rare stuff. Or they're like, I'm just going to breed leopard geckos and fucking crescent geckos, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you figured out a good situation where you're really working on the things that you like to work with, and then you're also supplying the regular shit, but also your regular shit is nice shit.
Yeah,
You know?
I try.
Yeah, hell yeah. Is that something that you learned throughout your time in the reptile industry, or you were always like, no, this is how I'm going to structure the business?
So as far as Repticon or just the reptile shows in general,
okay.
my very first show, I brought nothing but rare stuff.
Okay.
So in 2014, I had a table full of electric blue day geckos. So at the time, that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Some Stropharis geckos, a bunch of rare stuff, basically.
Yeah.
I sold maybe one thing
Fuck.
because nobody knew what it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought people who go to these shows were like me.
You got you.
No, that is not how that is.
Yeah.
I learned very quickly that, you know, all they know is the bearded dragon, leopard
Yeah.
gecko. So this is what I want to do with my life, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm a loser. So I started breeding that type of stuff, bringing it to the shows. And then again, eventually those people do become the hardcores, hopefully. And they do learn and they do get that stuff. So
And they'll become familiar with you with all that kind of stuff going
yeah.
forward.
And it's funny because sometimes I get the reverse. People see me on my Instagram.
Uh-huh.
So they get excited because they know I'm here. And they go to my table and it's just leopard geckos and
Yeah,
bearded
they're like,
dragons.
"Yo,
So
what the fuck?"
They're like, yo, where's your water drag? Like, where's your Australian
Yeah.
stuff? Like, where's all your rare stuff?
Yeah.
It's like, you would be the only one that knows what it is.
True. Now, your rare stuff, how is it selling? Is it doing good?
It's doing really good. I have a thing where I try to keep everything back for myself, so I don't really sell it.
Got you.
So people get really mad. So like the Reichert Ionols,
okay,
I've made a lot of people mad with those. I am sorry. This is going to go on Instagram too, right?
Yeah.
These people on Instagram are going to be pissed off with me because I'm keeping everything. I'm sorry, people.
Where do you put it all, dude?
I don't know, man. No, I hoard it. A species like that, some of these species aren't as prolific, so you got to hold stuff back. You want to build an army before you start selling to the public.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I have a good amount to start supplying everybody. If I only have like 3 and I'm selling them right away, next year I don't have anything.
I think that is a very important sentiment, and it could work in any business structure, no matter how big it is. Because, with the ball pythons, you see it often where somebody finds a new morph or makes a new combo, and then they just breed the shit out of it and sell out.
Yep.
Instead of like holding it back little by little, saving your stuff, and then, really getting a grip before you just destroy the market.
No, I learned that as well. Before I did the shows in 2008, I started off as a ball python breeder. A lot of people don't know that. I did my best to get rid of all that information. I hate all that stuff. You can dig deep. You won't find ball pythons on my page. I got rid of all that. But I started breeding ball pythons, and everything that I produced, I sold it immediately.
Yep.
Combos that I wanted to keep, gone. Just gone.
Damn, bro.
Screwed me later on. I learned.
Yeah. There you go, dude. And now you're here now.
I'm
the
here.
Legend, dude. EddieSoto, dude.
I don't know about that.
You gonna breed blue tongues? You don't want to breed any blue tongues?
I mean, you're doing a great job. Why would I compete with you?
I don't know, because they're cool, dude.
They are cool. I like them.
This is the thing. I think blue tongues are the superior pet lizard over a bearded dragon. I think they are the way. I think not enough people know about them.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're gonna be. They're not just gonna sit on you. They're a cool animal for you to interact with.
So, we'll see. I don't know.
See?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I hope so, because bearded dragons, they can, they're being bored being at top all the time,
Got you.
So,
we gotta get these blue tongue people. Let's go.
there's like a few of you guys out there now.
Hell yeah.
Brian Barczyk said 10 years ago that they were the next big thing.
That's why I got into them.
Really?
Yeah, that is exactly why. This is the thing. So I started only with turtles and tortoises. That was my passion. Turtles, tortoises, I was breeding them, no big deal. And then you become the reptile guy around your circle of friends. And then people just start giving you animals. I ended up with ball pythons. I was scared of them. Actually, my last Repticon that I vended, because I'm not a reptile person by trade.
Okay.
I fell into this.
So are you going to eventually like frogs?
No.
Okay.
So my last actual Repticon that I vended was years ago, and I had one ball python, and I couldn't even touch it. I had to get my friend,
Really?
can you pack that up? Yeah, I was terrified, scared of snakes.
Okay.
My dad bred birds my whole life, and my dad was scared of snakes because the snakes would come and try to eat birds, or whatever the fuck. That's what he would tell me, right? So I was scared of the snakes. I just ended up with some ball pythons. I got used to them. I started watching snake bites videos, and then I was like, wait, look at all these combos. I got into it.
Yeah.
And then when I started investing into snakes, I saw the Brian Barczyk, how to become a millionaire with reptiles, and blue tongues were there. They're going to be the next big thing. And that's when I was like, I'm going to look into those.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a market for it. There definitely is. I've seen it.
Yeah.
They're just not there yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's been like this. It was at a high when I was producing, I would say, my best stuff, so that I benefited from that. It's what helped me get to Central Florida. It's honestly, without the blue tongues, I would not have a house.
Really?
Now, yeah.
So you've done pretty good.
I have.
Okay.
You know what I did with the blue tongues? I was patient. And I only spent my money on the best stuff. I didn't, like, with ball pythons, I got into this in my head that I was like, I have to have one of everything.
Yeah.
I have to produce
I was
100
there.
clutches, and I didn't, like, it took a while for me to be like, hey, that's not the avenue you should take. But blue tongues are coming down. I know they'll come back up like everything else, right?
Well, right now everything's coming down, so.
Yeah. Fuck it. It is what it is. We just got to hang tight, right? All right.
Best we could do.
Tag yourself.
That's it? We're done?
Yeah, we're done.
Damn, I could keep going. SerpentariExotics on Instagram, SerpentariExotics on Facebook, EddieSoto everywhere else.
Hell yeah.
I try to be a nice guy.
There we go. And we'll try to have you on with Chuck and Tino.
Okay, let's do
You
it.
got stories, bro. Hell yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So, clearly you're wearing
Okay.
the Reptiles Express shirt. That's who we use for shipping. Reptiles Express is the best. I know that there's new companies coming up left and right, but we go with Reptiles Express. We go green.
Thank
you know how UPS says, go brown or whatever?
Or purple.
Or that too.
Green and purple.
There you go.
Yeah, green and purple. There we go.
Look at that, full circle. And then also there's crickets and stuff like that. You do your cricket stuff. And yeah, man. So what's tell me about your day to day when you come here to a REPTICON. What's the situation like?
Wow. So first of all, my name is Michael Houtsager.
There we go.
And so I'm the owner of Premium Crickets and Reptiles Express.
Yep.
But my wife owns me, so.
There you go. She owns the whole thing.
She owns everything. I just work for her. So we started, Premium Crickets was started in 2001.
Okay.
And it was just a chance meeting of me meeting a cricket farmer.
Cool.
And he told me about his business, and I said, I think I can help you and do it better.
Cool.
And so we grew it into a pretty big business.
Yeah.
And so we're here at REPTICON right now as Premium Crickets mostly. I don't know if you're going to show later on, but so we have a table. We sell crickets and roaches and waxworms and mealworms, and the list goes on. All the feeders that the animals need, except for the mice and the rats.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's been 2001, and then I was trying to think how many years ago it was, but 16 years or so. After doing lots of these REPTICON shows, my wife and I sat down on the couch and we noticed a lot of breeders were having trouble chipping their animals. And so we concepted the idea of providing a way to leverage our negotiated rates.
Okay.
At that time we were with UPS. And then help them to become accredited so they can ship their animals. We came up with something called Reptiles Express.
Yeah.
Long story about that. It was with UPS, and I believe Ship Your Reptile launched a couple months before us.
Okay.
And unfortunately, two things happened with UPS. Number one, Ship Your Reptiles was shipping bicycles.
Okay.
And that pissed them off. And number two, the main chief executive at UPS watched this movie called Snakes on Planes. True story, man. And he freaked him out.
Yeah, so pretty much from there, everything
got nixed.
Yeah, yeah, and everything from there went to FedEx.
Well,
and so something that I like using your service is I've done it all for the most part. You know, when I first started, I did a lot Ship Your Reptiles. In my experience, I wasn't getting the rates that I felt comfortable with, and then I went and got my own FedEx account. Mind you, it's more expensive when you're not shipping a large variety, a large quantity rather of animals. And you also got to realize that when you go direct, you don't get that same customer service.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, when I started switching to Reptiles Express, I realized that quickly I got that. Whenever whenever I need feedback, Reptiles Express is there.
Right.
Whenever, the process is seamless. So I really do like Reptiles Express. I'm not just saying that to give you the rundown.
More, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I really do appreciate your company, man. But can we talk a little bit about what we're doing here with the podcast and stuff?
Hey, it's your show.
All right.
You want to go, man.
So, I have Mike on. Mike and the guys that run REPTICON, they partnered with us pretty much, and they are putting us out here. They're the sponsors of this episode of the podcast, and we're going to try to be doing this a lot more often. So if you see me at a REPTICON, chances are I'm doing a podcast. You'll see the table, you'll see the animals, and we'll be podcasting. So that's kind of the situation. We're trying to give people a little bit of a behind the scenes. We're trying to get them, excited because there's a lot of good things happening with REPTICON, a lot of things that we've spoken about, things that just in general, without saying too much, is exciting. It can be exciting. So I appreciate you guys for having me here. Just want to say thank you on the podcast. Is there anything that you want to tell the people before we get off?
Yeah. I mean, like everything, we all have to grow and evolve.
For sure.
And I believe that the whole social side of our business has a lot of opportunity to expand.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing a lot to try to let the world know about the special things that are happening in our little world. I think we take it for granted how great it is. So Yoshi's a great spokesperson to sort of get the story out of what we're doing. Our job here with REPTICON and with me at So I'm a sponsor of REPTICON, but we're trying to do everything we can to make sure it's worth Yoshi's time to tell you guys the story. So that's what we're doing.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Luwai. I'm into really, really cool stuff. My friends call me a reptile snob, so
I love that. All right, so check this out. So I've seen you at the shop multiple times.
Yeah.
So usually when we have regulars, I would say you don't really ever know what they keep, and you don't really ever think what they keep. You're just like, oh, they probably got like ball pythons.
Yeah.
I didn't know you kept so many fucking cool animals. So what do you keep? What are you working with?
So as of right now, I'm really into varanids, Brachydactylus.
Yep.
Pretty much everything you could think of, I've pretty much kept. As of right now, I have the black dragon that I got from you guys, and I've really been focused on Cyclura, which
we were talking
I've
about
been breeding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much everything that you could think of, I've had.
I think is there anything like basic that you've worked with, or are you just like all this cool fucking shit?
Yeah,
dude?
so even as a little guy, I was like 14 or 15. Well, I started off keeping reptiles when I was little. I used to go catch the anoles. Because I grew up in Florida.
Okay.
And I was just keeping the anoles in like a little screen cage.
Yeah.
I started as a little guy, and then I guess I had like a leopard gecko. Like that was my librarian had a leopard gecko, and she gave it to me. And,
okay.
Yeah, that's how I got into it. But
and that was the last like basic.
I think I had a bearded dragon for a few months, and then I gave it away. But honestly, man, there's some cool bearded dragon morphs though.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially I think there's the American Monster. I don't know if you've seen.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, it's like a black.
Oh,
dragon.
is it big?
Here,
like going all over?
Can I pull
fucking
up a picture?
Yeah, go do your thing. I think I've seen some shit on like Instagram that's been blowing up, and it's just like really dark.
There's a guy by the name of Fatality Dragons.
Dragons.
He has
that's
some really
the one.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure, dude. But so, croc monitors. You have multiple. You have one.
I just have one.
Okay.
For me, my objective when I bring in an animal to my house or my projects, my end goal is to breed them.
Okay.
So that's actually a project that I'm trying to get out of because croc monitors are pretty hard to breed.
Yes. Did you do you follow at all Tom Crutchfield?
Yeah, I do.
Did you see that the other day he posted that his
the Partho?
croc? No. The croc monitor was eating grapes.
Oh yeah. Well, I've heard there's a lot of varanid species that are opportunistic and they'll eat fruits in the wild.
That's crazy, dude.
So I'm really into tree monitors. I have greens, blues. I've never had yellows, but I have blacks as well.
Dude, you have fucking everything, bro.
Dude, no. I'm a reptile snob. Ask Tiki from Tiki's Geckos.
Okay.
Yeah, they know me.
Dude, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I honestly, bro, like for real, I would have never guessed. Because the thing is, I see so many people come into the shop, and I don't ever think twice.
That's a fatality, by the way.
Dude,
it's pretty cool.
Sick.
I don't know if the people want to see it. Can they see it? Probably not.
But that's the thing. So when I found out that you were doing all this shit, I was like, yeah, what the fuck, dude? You're like, how you're fucking keeping these things, dude. Dude, that's sick, man.
Well, I really, really have a thing for big lizards, varanids and Cyclura.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my biggest.
All right.
Like I said, I have the black dragon at home, and
I got a rhino iguana female.
Oh yeah.
And like everybody's always telling me, they're like, yo, you gotta get a male. You gotta get a male. But I'm also like, yo, but she's tame, dude. Like she's vibing, dude.
Well, honestly, man, I haven't had any problems because I've bred a few like species of Cyclura.
Yeah.
You can introduce a male and they'll still keep their personality. To be honest. Yeah.
But this is the thing that I worry about. What if I got a male and he's mean, and then I can't go hang out with my dog, dude? That's the whole.
Man, just listen. Just tell him it's 2022. We don't do domestic violence around here. And just, hey man, I'll give you one shot, or else I'm gonna have to call the cops on you.
Dude, that's great. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. It's just straight the fuck up. I am a huge pussy. All right.
A what?
A huge pussy.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't like getting bit. I don't like getting scratched.
Yeah.
I breed ball pythons and blue tongued skinks. All right.
Hey man, I've never been bitten by any reptile actually.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I get nervous, bro. I'll handle like a monitor. I'm like,
But
like
you work at Imperial, man. You should.
Yeah, but I do online shit.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm the fucking e-commerce guy. I'm the guy behind the scenes with the computers.
Oh,
all right. I'm not out there fucking slanging fucking monitors, dude.
Man.
All right, so you also, Eric was saying that you bred lychees?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that I do breed. Oh, well, I talked about Rhacodactylus. Yeah, I'm really into lychees. Sorry, guys. I'm a reptile snob. No cresties for me.
Literally, dude. It's
that's food for my lychees.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, your lily whites?
No, there we go.
On their birthday, that's what Oh God,
So-
I'm probably getting canceled for that
No,
one.
it's
man.
fine, dude.
Hey, I don't feed lily whites to my Reachies.
Only the super cappuccinos.
Yeah.
That's fine.
if they come out kind of funky.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Little
Oh, wait, did you come
nostrils
out-
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Fuck it.
4 eyes, you know.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
So with the lychees, what is it that you're working with?
So as of right now, I just have Nuana. I did have like Nuami, and I'm trying to get into the GTs,
Okay.
but I don't have a passion for them because they're not like a big lizard or
Got you.
you know what I mean. But I do breed Nuanas regularly.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. Lizards. No snakes. You're not gonna do turtles, tortoises. What's up?
So I do have a few species of turtles and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a fly river before.
What the shit, bro?
Yeah, I know.
All the
man.
cool stuff.
Dude, like I said, my friends call me the reptile snob.
Dude, that's
honestly,
great.
that should be my Instagram tag. Reptile
Honestly,
snob.
bro?
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
But because I'm so into iguanas, I actually want to call myself Iguanodon. Like I feel like that would be a good business name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you're only with iguanas, dude.
Nah, but I mean, I don't know.
I like the reptile snob thing.
Yeah, the
I think
reptile snob?
I think people will like,
You think so?
yeah, cling on to
Well,
that.
I guess we'll have your followers decide. you know?
Exactly,
They watch
dude.
this.
My name's Jameson Gahagan.
Cool,
I'm from
cool.
Gahagan Laboratories.
Cool beans. What do you work with?
I primarily work with Lygodactylus and Phelsuma day geckos.
Okay.
I do also work with some New Caledonian species. I'd like to kind of stick to smaller stuff.
Okay.
A lot of the day geckos have gotten real rare in the last few years from
Understood.
just people losing interest in them and then people regaining interest.
Okay.
And every time that happens, like 2 or 3 bloodlines
Okay.
kind of just disappear out of the trade. And with a lot of these CITES animals, what we have is what we have now.
For sure.
So I've been trying to stick to stuff that has been getting close to extinction in the hobbies, like Phelsuma sapediana, Phelsuma ornata. I actually brought a little guy right here.
Hell
This is
yeah.
a little ornate day gecko.
Cool.
They're a couple years ago they were more common, and then I think what happens is people get overwhelmed with breeding them, because babies will fight. You can't really cage them together. You get a lot of hatchling bickering. So like one good season, you're going to end up with like 100 cages
Got
if
you.
you're get into too deep. My original focus was Lygodactylus williamsi. In like 2009, they got CITES listed, and ever since then, like they've been getting rare. They used to be something you could find at PetSmart. Now, they've gotten up to like almost 300 each for juveniles.
Okay.
And, where they're from, they only ever occurred in like an 8 square kilometer area in the Kimboza Forest in Tanzania. And just habitat loss, the pet trade, pulling stuff, but primarily habitat loss is what
Okay.
really did them in.
So
Which one of them?
I'm not too good with the Latin names. I have peacock day geckos.
Yep.
So Eric, the one that's working my booth
Uh-huh.
right now, he gave me his pair. And I, when he gave them to me, there was an egg. It came, it
Nice.
incubated
Yeah,
naturally.
yeah.
The baby came out, and I really thought for such a small animal, I was like, oh, I don't even know if something like this is going to thrive.
Yeah.
They thrive.
Oh,
dude.
yeah, and that's
You know?
the thing with these geckos is a lot of people get really weary with the smaller
Yeah.
stuff, and a lot of folks like gold dust day geckos are going to be like as small as most people
Yeah.
are comfortable with, but if anybody can ever hear any advice about small day geckos, like despite their small size, they're pretty hardy.
Yeah.
As long as you meet their needs.
I've been keeping them outside in Orlando,
Yep,
the
perfect,
peacocks.
yeah.
Now, I did speak with Eric. I was like, dude, I
Yeah.
want to get more. The problem is that it gets a little cold.
Yeah.
And I don't know when's a good temperature to bring them inside.
Yeah.
And then how often am I going to have to be going back and forth and stuff like
I've
that?
been starting to go through that myself
Yep.
with some of my outdoor stuff. I keep some peacocks outdoors, and usually my cutoff is around 55. I've seen people keep them out colder.
Yeah.
But you're kind of gambling at that point.
Yeah.
If they have a full belly, it can be pretty detrimental.
Understood.
And with like all the cold fronts coming through,
Yeah.
we'll have a hot day and a cold night. And,
Yeah.
you might have a gecko eat its fill that day and just not be digesting good at night and
Yeah.
drop out.
Understood.
But I've been having to bring in screen cages a lot lately between the storms and
Yeah.
everything. It's been a lot.
Now, when you're bringing them in, are you just like picking them up, bringing them in, or you have
I
like
just
a
bring
okay?
the whole thing in.
So, and that's my thing where I'm just like, damn, like if I could come up with a system that's easy, that maybe I just roll them in, roll
Yeah,
them out, roll
yeah.
them in, roll them out, then I will get more.
Yeah, definitely.
so
Baker's carts. Like
Okay.
the baker's racks, make them short because usually they come with two posts. Keep
Okay.
them on one post, and you can have something that you can like slide up to your door.
Yep.
Or even It doesn't have wheels, but I've been using card tables, like 4 and 6 foot card tables. You can just bring it all in with a person on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, screen caging super light.
Yeah,
so you can
for
have
sure.
like 10 of them on there, like 2 rows of 5, and real easy to move that way.
Cool. So talk to me about the next one we got here.
Yeah, so this is a Lygodactylus williamsi, or electric blue day gecko. I love these guys. I've probably produced 1,000 I've been breeding them for about 10 years now.
Wow.
Eric Russell at Zoom actually got me really into them. Yeah, I used to work for Pinellas County Reptiles, and I remember asking the owner, Kevin Dunn back then, where do you think the reptile market's going to go in the next like 5-10 years? And he was like, hear me out. It's going everywhere but small geckos. He was like, people are going to love these, and really realize, because you can keep in big cities, if you have no room living in an apartment, you can have a gecko breeding colony, you know? And there's a lot of folks now, the amount of williamsi and other smaller species that I've shipped to like LA, New York, to like, you know, apartment addresses, and it's like, you know, they can, you know, that they can at least keep multiple cages there, and it's not, you know, like somebody keeping an alligator in Brooklyn kind of thing. But great species. For how small they are, they max out at 3.5 inches, but they eat like champs. They grow. They hit sexual maturity within 6 months.
Okay.
So it's really, to get a good breeding population going, it's super easy. The only drawback is, as a species, they produce about 90% male. And a lot of day geckos are like that. A few will produce, like ornatas. I've been having like a 1-to-1 about ratio.
Okay.
But yeah, most of them it's all female or all male. And I think it's just a method for kind of dissuading them from interbreeding too much in the wild. Because you got to think they probably only live, like a family line will be on one tree, or like a close grouping of trees. So
if I wanted to get into these, what would be a good ratio, and how would I go about getting them?
A lot of people, because every breeder right now is either holding back females or has a list long as their arm. And what I say is try to get some unsexed. If you get 4 and end up with 1 female, pair her off, and then, you know, from the babies you start producing, a lot of breeders are more apt to want to do bloodline trades.
Okay.
So you can always trade some of your own offspring to get, and it doesn't cut into price too bad.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been impossible. I've been trying to get more females this season from my own stock, and like buying outside. And everybody, like, and I know all the big breeders are like, I can't right now, I'm holding back stuff, or, you know, I have a list that like people for years going, and it's ridiculous.
It does seem like a passion project.
Yeah.
But 100%, I can see how like they will become the thing.
Yeah.
Day geckos, I really do think so. I think they're very personable. I have a buddy that he has some crimsons, and he like handles them and stuff like that. And people are usually afraid of it. They're like, oh, they're so fast or so this, you can hurt them.
Yeah.
And you know, if you just work with them, I mean, they could be great.
Yeah. You got to do like put in time with them. But I even see people hand feeding. You know, a couple of the kids on YouTube and doing the TikTok videos with and reels with day geckos. You see a lot more where they'll run onto their hand. I mean, it even surprises me. Like, you know, I'll see ornatas eat off of folks' hands, and like, these things are lightning. But if they get used to seeing you and know you provide food, they'll put up with you. They might not like you, but they know that you're not going to like crush them or something. So they'll go for it.
Cool. And the last two we got, what do we got?
This is a cousin of the williamsi. These guys are just a little bit over from them in Tanzania and the surrounding countries. In Africa, they're a lot more common. Lygodactylus Kimhall's day gecko. Same size they max out at, but for a day gecko, just kind of a unique pattern. Black stripes with like like almost pit bull blue-gray color. Same temperament. These guys are pretty bold. You know, they'll even take food off your hands, like trying to lick my finger through the glass or through the cup. Really good disposition for a day gecko. The only thing that's great about these is their sex ratios they produce are a lot more even, so you can put together pairs a lot better with these. Cool. Getting a breeding colony of these is a lot less chaotic. And then these guys, which this was one of the first smaller geckos that really caught my eye from, you know, as far as nocturnal non-day geckos. This is a Urodactyloid agricoli. They call them Bauer's chameleon geckos too, but most people just call them agricoli. The genus has 4 species in it, all of them from New Caledonia, very similar to crested gecko in diet. I would say put a light over them just because they will stay out in the open. They don't need heat or anything, but they're a good one for if you want to do a lightly planted vivarium with like thin sticks. They'll always be out in the front center or like somewhere you can see them. Yeah. They're not a gecko that'll really run away either. They're like that in that they're the opposite of day geckos. You can hold them. This guy's actually a little crotchety right now, but usually they'll just stick to your finger and try not to, they don't really jump or anything, but yeah, neat gecko, and they also produce like a weird stink out of their tail. Okay. As like a deterrent, almost like the Strophoris geckos in Australia, the spiny tail geckos. Yeah. But yeah, if you get them really upset, you'll start to smell like a kind of god-awful smell from their tail, and it's like a weird grease.
Dude, that's cool, man.
Yeah, I love stuff with like secondary kind of deterrents like that.
In Central Florida, what can I keep outside?
I would say you can keep grandis, peacocks, you can keep ornatas. Keep Williams Eye and Kimwelli. You can keep Lineata, Phelsuma. You can keep pretty much all the day gecko species you can keep.
Awesome.
They're all from a relatively similar region, from mainland Africa over to like Oceania and the Seychelles Islands.
Okay.
So like same latitude and everything, and very similar to us. We're a little bit northern of that, but besides the winters here, which is very mild, you won't have to really take them in, and the rainfall on them they love. I'll spray them a couple of times a week here and there when it doesn't rain, but they thrive, and nothing's
awesome,
like natural
dude.
sunlight.
Guys, we have the man, the myth, the legend, one of my ball python mentors. We got David from Mad Ball Pythons. What's up, my dude?
Bullshit.
Bullshit what? Bullshit what?
The man, the myth, the
legend, dude.
Bullshit.
All of my friends are the man, the myth, the legend, my guy. So there's this talk, right? There's this talk going around. People are really scared. They don't want to buy shit. It's the recession, right? But the thing is that people think it's only ball pythons. It's happening all around the world, all around the country, rather. We got a bunch of free money. People invested a lot of money. We were selling our ball pythons for a high. We were great for a couple years, and now things are going down. Okay, but how can we be smart about this time? And why do we not have to be afraid to breed ball pythons, to breed whatever?
That's definitely a sensitive subject.
Yes.
Everybody has an opinion.
Yes.
The one thing that I can actually put my 50 cents in is I've seen this before.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be too concerned. I just think that in a time like this, we just need to be a little more responsible with our breeding projects.
100%.
I think that if there is something that you're working with, to continue working with, because for the last couple of years, because there was such a surplus of sales, I think that a lot of people started focusing on the byproduct.
Okay.
And the heads and the single genes, double genes, triple genes, and stuff like that.
Fair.
And then I think if I'm not incorrect, I think that it's a good time to invest, just 100%. not a good time to excessively breed.
And I think that you brought up a good point. All right. Now, if we had to compare ball pythons or breeding reptiles to the stock market, when do you buy your stocks? When they're down.
When they're down.
So that way, when they come up, you can...
Responsibly, of course.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to just buy a shit ton of animals, because what's going to happen? You're going to have the same problem.
We're going to run into the same situation that we're in right now.
And you got to understand, you got to stick to your lane. You got to, if you're the hobbyist, just breed your shit for your hobby. It's not a big deal. No big deal, right? If you're only producing for pets, produce for pets. But if you're in this for investment stuff like you and I are, right? You got to really hone down the stuff that you have. You don't have... The thing is, I feel like people are scared right now. People are scared, and they're just dumping their shit.
With reason.
Yeah, of course.
Because we don't really know what's happening right now.
You're right. But now people... Give you an example. Daytona. I had a lavender albino female, adult, for $1,000. People were saying it's a good price. I go to check the prices today on Morph Market. Yeah. Yeah. Adult lavender albino female, my guy, where once upon a time that would have been $2,000, $3,000, $4,000.
And I get it. I get it that, we talk to a lot of people, and what makes the Desert Ghost that was $100 and you couldn't even move it for anything on the shelf? What makes it $1,000 today? Hold on. What makes it that?
The market.
The market?
Yeah.
Who sets the market?
I guess we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then if we have all these projects that we're working with, who sets those prices?
The market would.
Okay, but who's to say that those prices are what they're for?
What do you mean?
All right, so if my blackhead, when I got into blackheads, you couldn't touch them for less than $500, $600.
Correct.
Adult females, you couldn't look at them for any less than fucking $1,200.
Correct.
They're selling right now for $300, $400 adults.
Yep.
Right now.
Yep.
Because people can't feed them, people can't keep up with their projects. People are like, you know what? This is not profitable. I'm just gonna start dumping into the market. You know. Now, granted, when it comes to adults, there's been time, energy, effort, blood, sweat, tears, feed.
The whole thing.
There's been a lot to develop a female.
Yep.
You know? But when it comes to babies, if you didn't put no time into your baby, if you didn't put no feed into your baby, why aren't we selling ball pythons at $100? Okay.
Yeah, I do think it's tough, man. It's tough because I feel like a lot of, and I suffer from this. The suffer of, is this animal ever going to sell? I have such a limited space. You know, and I suffer from that kind of thing. So sometimes I'm willing to take a lower price when I shouldn't have.
You become competitive.
Yeah.
And then what's happening is that for some people that are involved more for the how can I say, it's not even an investment, because an investor does it because they enjoy it, so it's kind of like a hobby investment type, but they want to see something in return.
Now we're at a situation where I know that we've spoken about this, and I don't mean this to talk shit about anybody specifically. I'm not trying to talk shit. Like, no. I honestly, I respect the hustle.
Yeah,
I do respect the hustle.
It's but where I got started.
Yeah, exactly. So, but what we're experiencing right now is that some of these large breeders that have a following, for example, the first. And, dude, I really respect this hustle. I'm so glad that they get to pull it off. Like, good for fucking them, right? But we have a situation where it's like, okay, the first people that have access to their stuff.
And before you even continue going with that, thank God for them, because they've made this hobby even 100%. Much more than what it is.
100%, dude.
So, for sure, you can't be trash talking about them.
Yeah, when I started, it was like, nah, dude, you don't got to invest into all those things. Like, just breed pet shit. You know, I just finished talking to somebody, and I was like, I just started getting one of everything because I was like, I need to make 100 clutches.
Yep.
You know, but that wasn't it. That was a bad mentality that the people before me bestowed on me, you know. But now these people, they're getting their followers. Great for them. The followers get their first access.
Yes.
So if you're not their follower, you are already behind.
Yes.
Okay, and you think that you have the next access? Wrong. Then it's the exports that get the animals. Okay, so now whatever animals you're getting after the Patreon, after the exports, is third-rate shit. The shit that didn't sell. So you're already you're already 3-4 years behind at that point. You know, so now we're at a point where you're 3-4 years behind, and we're hitting a recession. All right, and now everybody's like scared. They're like, I gotta get out of ball pythons. I gotta tank this thing more. And guess what, guys? You fucking don't. You have to learn how to be patient. You gotta ride the wave.
It's funny because 2 years ago,
it
wasn't even because of COVID. It wasn't because of anything. I said to myself, and I've told you, and just like I've told many of my circle, I gotta get out. I gotta get out, because for me it was more of a time-consuming thing versus dedicating and spending, you know, quality time with my family. And you know, I was getting out for those reasons, not because of COVID, not because I killed it in COVID, dude. I don't know about you, but I
did great.
I did amazing.
The Blue Tongues did amazing.
I did amazing through this whole COVID situation. Now with this recession thing, it's basically, you know what? It is exactly how I started, and it is exactly how I've always felt comfortable when these situations occurred. You breed what you love. You breed what you're going to enjoy, what you don't mind keeping in your rack, feeding it, cleaning it.
Waiting for the day that it
waiting
hits.
for the day, even if it drops down to $100. You know, you are going to enjoy that animal.
You know what?
It's a crazy time.
But
we don't know.
I'm very grateful for is that since I did business outside of reptiles before I started doing reptiles, I started feeling a trend in these kinds of things. And so I really did start selling out of some of the things that I feel like I just didn't need.
Right.
Single gene this, single gene that, things that I wasn't passionate about anymore. So that way I could focus the time when things are slow on raising the females that I really love. Now, mind you, I won't I'm a small breeder. I was doing 30 to 40 clutches, let's say, and now I'm going to be doing significantly less. So that, in a sense, means less money because the cost of feed is up and the price of the animals are down also. But guess what? Just little by little, slow and steady, getting those animals that I need to get for my future projects. So that way, as we all rise up again, it's going to be great. So right now, even though people are scared about this recession or whatever, guys, this is such a beautiful time. Yeah, it means more money in your pocket today, but in 2 days, you're gonna soar if you're patient with it.
It's definitely gonna be a blessing in disguise, and I guess if you haven't been through it, you just won't know. If you just been in it for the last couple of years,
yeah.
This will be probably like my 12th year, 11th or 12th year. So this happened before, once upon a time ago, and you know what? This is the best way that I could describe it is that this whole scenario that's going on right now, it's like a hard reset.
Yeah.
It just gives you the time to be able to see what you have and reamp again.
Yeah.
And then it's where I think for me is where my passion comes back into the game versus I have to sell because I have to, I have to make stuff because I have to sell.
100%.
So I think passion comes back in, and then when you get passion into the hobby once again, I think things might turn out.
And if you're worried about not being able to sell your shit, this is advice that I have to give to some people. If you're worried about not being able to sell shit and not being able to feed, like not being able to make money to feed, okay, get a wholesale account. Get a shop that you trust that'll pay you money for your animals, that they will probably be able to sell the animals because they have a different kind of audience, okay? And
look, I agree with that 100%. And listen, everybody's going through a hard time, and everybody is doing a lot of adjusting. And there's wholesalers out there that obviously do your homework, do your research, talk to people. Somebody knows somebody that could give you the right information.
Yeah.
There's even wholesalers out there that are willing and that have the capability of taking in merchandise on consignment. If it has to be that, where at least the animal is going to get the attention that it needs.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you're going to get stuck.
Yeah.
I've had people. I actually met I didn't meet him. I actually stopped talking to the guy. Because he literally, and granted, he was advised to do so, but he basically put everything in a bag and literally did what he had to do to get rid of it. I'm not gonna get too detailed of what he did, but let's just say that he did something that was a little inhumane.
Bad people do bad things.
There's ways to do things, guys.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like right now, the way that my business is run, like I pay my animals off of the animals that I hold. I feed my animals off of the animals that I wholesale.
Right.
Okay. So everything that comes in that is a special project for me, that's what you will see at my tables. That's what you'll see on my website. That's what you'll see out there in the platforms, right? And then that's where I make my profit, etc. So there's different ways that you guys can operate that will be beneficial for you in the long run. Yeah. So be patient with it. David, tag yourself one more time.
David at Madball Pythons.
So we're reaching the end of our REPTICON experience. Mr. Eric.
Hello.
What's up, my dude? How was your first experience? Not your first REPTICON experience. Your first full vending experience.
Straight up
all
vending.
Weekend. How was it? You
it
watched the
bad.
table.
It was pretty good.
What were the best parts?
Best parts?
Yeah.
Good question. Honestly, vouching for a lot of the animals that we got. We had good animals. People knew what they were looking for. We had a lot of animals that people look for, so they're not coming here blind asking, the beginner questions. So I felt a lot more comfortable giving them the knowledge that they needed because they knew. They kind of had a better grasp of it. I also really felt comfortable having the whole table to myself. I didn't have to come to anyone for any questions or something like that. I felt pretty confident there. And I practiced the people skills.
Hell yeah.
Eye contact and stuff
there
like that.
There you go.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, well, you did a good job, man, and I want to say thank you for watching the table. I hope we get to do this more often. You did help me out in a pinch. It was not a last-minute thing, but it happened pretty fast, and, most of my team is one of my team is in Miami. The other one just had a kid, so you really helped out. You did, honestly, bro, I'm not trying to rub your dick right now. But, dude, you did a great job. So thank you so much. Congratulations. And for those that don't know, Eric is the one that does our sound on the podcast when we're with Chuck and Tino. He's in charge of the whole thing. So if it sounds bad, it's his fault. Blame him. Blame him. Look at him.
That is correct.
Is there anything you want to tell these people before we close the shit off?
You can find me at Reptiverse on Instagram and at some point on YouTube. The channel's there if you want to subscribe.
Yeah.
No videos yet. I got to figure that out.
Yeah. He has the best reptile name. But, of course, follow, subscribe on all of our social platforms on YouTube. Make sure you tune in every week to the Reptiles With Podcast. Thank you guys so much. And, of course, thank you, REPTICON, Reptiles Express, and Premium Crickets for having us out.